Hello and welcome back to another video. It's a lovely day today. It's the middle of June. We've got really long days at the moment, and last night around here at 11:15 there was enough daylight to see what I was doing walking around. 22:27. Look at this. I can walk along this path, no headlight, no nothing, just broad daylight, and it stays like this till nearly 11 o'clock. This is 10:30 at night in Scotland in the middle of June. It's broad daylight. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, let's get back to the video because it's nice and sunny and we're trying to find some gold. Anyway, so today I'm interested in this section of river. The water looks pretty low, nice and clear. We've got a bit of a drop off over here. I could put a sluice there. We've also got a big lump of either bedrock or slab. There is a bit of an inside line across there and maybe a crossover point here. So maybe them rocks there could have a bit of a line for where the gold's travelled.
First of all, let's have a look at the kit that I'll be using today.
I'll be using the Caledonian Super Sluice today, the Super Bucket, and we've got the gravel pump with a new end because that's got worn out over recent trips. Also got my other sluice, my Ruthless Mining green mat sluice, and I know on this burn them riffles, they do catch that super fine gold and it'll catch them all the way through the run. A selection of pans as always. It's always nice to pan into another pan, and you've got to look after your hands, people. Look how clear the waters are. I've already worked along here and I have got a few specks of gold, but I can't tell if that is a big slab connected to this or not, but I suspect there's quite a lot of overburden there.
Now the only issue with overburden is how deep down does it go and how much of your day will it take up moving it.
And some of it, like, you'd think that would have come up. It is, yeah. Get them out of the way. Take a lot of gold behind here as well. Looks like there's a lighter kind of sedimenty gravel behind there, but you never know. They actually say, although you're directly behind, there could be a better drop off here. Just looking to the left, you can see there by about 6 foot. Probably that's where the real drop off happens there from that.
So I decided to get my suction pump, start to work away at the gravels there. It can be hard work, but with the sun shining down on you, at times getting pretty wet from the water around, it was actually quite a pleasant experience.
Trying to get some of them larger stones out of the way. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time coming as summer this year. It's been proper slow and at times very cold. Today it's the perfect summer's day. There's a light breeze coming down this way. Fish jumped over there then. I'm really enjoying it. In fact, it might be warm enough to go sniping.
So this is my Caledonian Super Sluice. I do like using it, but I also like the green mat sluice as well. So I guess on days like this, it's always good to take both, and I've got other sluices as well. And at the end of the day, they all do a similar job. They're all pretty efficient, but I guess over time, you just put your faith into the one that you always use and really trust it to do its job. And in this case, this particular sluice was designed to process gravels from rivers such as the one I was working at today.
Okay, I've done 2 buckets. I'm going to do a clean up now. There's lots of material in there. It's all quite heavy, so I need to get it all sorted out now. and see what's actually going on at this section of the river.
And you can make out the gold there on the top mat. And I also think that's a lovely sight. You could say it's a sight for sore eyes.
Just a quick look in the sluice. I've mentioned it many a times. You see this red, dark stuff? Good sign always. But it's catching the gold.
So it's time for a clean-up. In this case, I thought I'd have a quick look at what the riffles are really showing whilst the sluice was out of the water. So I knew there was gold on the top mat, but looking in the riffles, I couldn't see a fat lot. But the gold here is really fine, and it will be lurking there amongst all that sediment. Due to the size of the sluice, it's easy to clean it out into a bucket and then pan the concentrates later on.
Well, that's not too bad. We've got quite a few specks of gold in there from the Caledonian Super Sluice. I'm tempted though to try my other sluice. And it's time for a snack. What are we on today? Strawberry fruit bake. Quite nice then. I've already had my smoked salmon back at the camp. And warm Coca-Cola. I'm wondering if that big stone there is going to come up.
Whenever you go prospecting, it's always important to keep your body fueled. Then you've got the energy to start to move these big rocks out of the way.
I think it will. Yep. Oh! Yes. Good news. I wonder what's lurking in there now. I need this. Right, I've worked over there and it's looking interesting. I've reached bedrock, I think, and there could be a channel comes across. So that might be a job for another day, but leave this to one side. This is a really efficient little sluice. It catches anything super fine, so we'll give this one a go now. And it'll be interesting just to see if you can compare the two sluices. That one's done okay though, but that one is really for shifting loads and loads of dirt quickly. Well, it's become a lot more than I ever expected this. We've basically got quite a large trench, a crevice. I'm about 6 foot away from where I started originally now, and it's getting deeper, and maybe I've got to come back with a wetsuit. I'm thinking it's a wetsuit job for sure, because when I'm lying down I'm almost to the top of the waders, trying to get rid of some of this overburden. So yeah, there could be nothing here, or I might need to get underneath with a mask and see what's going on deep down. You probably get a better angle now. There's the lip I was going down to. Then I found that crack which opened up, and I wonder if it's going to go right across over to the edge. And the flow of water, it's not hitting it at 90 degrees, it's at about 60 degrees. It could be a good catchment, that. Well, it's getting late now. It's been a long day in the sun. I'm not seeing much gold in the sluice, to be honest, and I'm wondering if I've gone too far with this crack now. So I've kind of gone committed and I'm going through the layers of gravels, filling the bucket and sluicing. I don't know. This is what gold prospecting does to you.
And because I was committed, I carried on working this crevice the best that I could, and as the sun went across the horizon, the shadows started to get longer and longer. So I was getting towards the end of the day, and I was just hoping that I'd found enough gold in the gravels, and that the green mat sluice was doing its job.
Right, I'm calling it a day over there. One last bucket. This little gravel bar from behind that lump of bedrock, I'm going right down the middle. I'm filling a bucket.
So that was my final bucket. You might say it was one for the road. So having run them through the sluice, it was time for a clean up. But would there be any gold?
I'm not sure what that is there. Could be a piece of gold, I just don't know. And I've got gold there and there.
I've also got into looking at the sluice in a bit more detail, just to see where the gold is caught along the sluice run. And what I've been finding is that the gold can be caught in any part of the sluice. And at the end of the day, we're just relying on the weight of the gold finding that spot where it wants to rest. And if the first riffle doesn't catch it, the next one will. And so on and so forth. And the beauty with this sluice is that you can do a clean up into your pan, or in this case into the bucket. I've also got the option to remove the green mat and clean this separately to ensure that everything is cleaned thoroughly. And because of its size, it's perfect to put in the backpack. And again, I know that I can trust this sluice when sometimes there's no visible gold on the top mat. And when I'm panning at the side of the river, I always like to pan into a second pan. I also take a selection of pans. They're mainly green, but I also like to use a black pan because it gives you a better contrast to see the gold when you're making these videos. So just for continuity, yes, I did pan into a green pan, but to show you the gold, I've used the black pan on this shot.
So here's the clean up from the green mat sluice. There's nothing big in there at all, but there's a lot of nice flowery gold. That crevice, it didn't really reveal anything, but if there's anything big in there, it'll be trapped way down in the crevices and it'll need crowbarring out. So that's the show there from the second clean up with the smaller sluice, and then we need to add from the other clean up. Some of the lead we've taken out of the river.